We're going to take a step back to last year, 2018, late muzzleloader season. I had hunted one deer all season long, my number one hit list buck, the split brow 9. It had been a pretty rough season altogether. It's tough to grind day in and day out and not see your shooter bucks. I had a pretty good group of deer that kept coming out in front of me every single night, but there was no shooters in this group. So I decided to take a couple days off of hunting and go out and scout around these sections to find where the majority of this herd had moved to. 2 nights in a row, a little bit further west, I found where this herd had moved to. The top of this hill was covered in deer, and I knew from the road glassing over the top of this hill that there were 2 giants in this group. It was pretty easy for me to figure out what I was going to do. It all just came down to the right day and an east wind. Well, it's the afternoon of January 6th. We're here in Iowa. I'm sitting up on top of a cut cornfield. It is super windy. I've been doing a lot of scouting when I haven't been able to get out and hunt. 3-4 days ago I was back in here driving around the section, and this hilltop was just covered in deer. Didn't believe the sign that is in here. It's unreal. This field is just pounded. They come up out of the timber from the south, where there's a great big bowl down below me to the north that they come out of. I've only got about 70 yards to the fence, but it is cooler tonight than it has been. Hopefully that gets a deer up on their feet with this little front moving through. Fingers crossed it should be covered up in deer tonight. Well, it's a little after 4:30. It's been a really slow afternoon. A whole lot of nothing. A lot of wind. The temperature's starting to drop off a little bit. Well, that kind of caught me by surprise. He just kind of popped up out of nowhere. I kind of turned my back over there for a minute, and I turned around and he was standing right up on top of the hill. It's really overcast, so it looks really dark in here, but it's still halfway decent outside. I might have just did something. I think I just killed a big one. Yeah. I made a few phone calls and I waited for the group of guys to show up to help me track this deer. And really, to my relief, it wasn't that much of a track job. Right here, 90 yards. Let's head up the hill, see if we can find blood. There he is right there. Are you kidding me? Look at this deer. Holy smoke. I killed 2 deer back to back, the biggest deer in my life. And the split brown 9, you know, he's even bigger than what I thought. I got his right side shed from last year. I nicknamed him the split brown 9 because he had the big split on his brow tine. And I didn't think he was going to lose that because it was so prevalent, but he did. And his little spike point over here, he didn't have that last year. It was on this side, and the big split G2 wasn't there last year. And when I first had this deer on film, it took me about 45 minutes to recognize what deer it was because he had a unicorn point, and he busted it off in the last couple weeks because I had pictures of him, a section over, and he still had that point there. To be able to put my hands on my #1 hit list buck at the end of last year was just an incredible feeling. I've known this deer for a long time, and I've watched him grow up. I've put in food plots. I've put out the monster meal to help these deer grow and establish in this area, and to watch this herd, and not just that one particular deer but multiple deer in this area grow up and mature, to see these deer starting to reach their full potential as they age, it's just an amazing feeling. And that ends my quest for the split brown 9.